GOP 9 hours ago. Here's a story that isn't fake. We're going to get onto the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. The DNC is still holding onto their pedo cash. Really? DNC holds onto decades-old Jeffrey Epstein donations after other Democrats returned theirs. DNC Chairman Ken Martin accused president of covering up for a notorious sexual predator. Did they link it? I hope they linked it. They don't appear to have, but that's okay. Here, I'll grab her real quick. And let's go. The Democratic National Committee's donations from the late financier Jeffrey Epstein have come under renewed scrutiny as Epstein's sex trafficking case files continue to roil the Trump administration. The DNC's donations from Epstein in the mid-90s, totaling $32,000, were never returned by the committee, while several other Democratic lawmakers and entities have since donated or returned theirs. The donations visible in public campaign finance records are back in the spotlight as the DNC relentlessly taunts the administration over Epstein by creating a social media account dedicating to raising awareness about his non-public case files and circulating a mobile billboard about it by the White House. Yeah, money really well spent, Democrats. DNC Chairman Ken Martin recently accused President Trump, who was once friends with Epstein prior to Epstein facing charges, of covering up for a notorious sexual predator. Asked for comment on never returning Epstein documents, a DNC spokesperson brushed off the funds in a statement to Fox. Quote, instead of trying to blow the cobwebs off the decades-old contributions and defunct campaign accounts, Donald Trump should release the Epstein files, spokesperson said. Scrutiny over donations and any conflicts they present is common in political campaigning. The RNC faced calls to return what Business Insider found to be $1.4 million from its former finance chair, Steve Wynn, a casino mogul who stepped down from his role with the committee and with Wynn Resorts after facing numerous allegations of sexual misconduct and settling lawsuits over them. The DNC also accepted more than $90,000 from the private hedge fund of billionaire Glenn Dubin, who has close ties to Epstein. At least two top Republicans, Senator David McCormick, Republican of Pennsylvania, and Vivek Ramaswamy, also accepted donations from Dubin. Epstein invested millions in a hedge fund managed by Dubin. One of Epstein's most vocal accusers, the late Virginia Gruffer, testified in 2015 that associate Ghislaine Maxwell forced her to have sexual relations with Dubin. Dubin was never criminally charged. Epstein donated on a smaller scale to Republicans, including George H.W. Bush. Epstein first pleaded guilty in 2008. Yeah, we get all that. Federal charges 2019, trafficking, abusing underage ladies, women. Epstein used his enormous wealth to donate to several Democrats, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. When Epstein's charges were announced in 2019, donation recipients faced pressure to disassociate from the funds. I wish they said exactly how much money that Chuck Schumer received from Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe they should start megaphoning that at him. And I'm sure he's not the only one. Plus, I mean, we've already seen the flight records, the lists that had Bill Clinton and Bill Gates and all those other people on it. So, but yeah, they just want to direct everything directly to President Trump. But anyway, so Schumer, who received thousands from Epstein in the 90s, wish they had an exact amount, but I guess we'll take thousands, vowed in 2019 to offset the funds by making a donation in their amount to anti-trafficking and women's advocacy groups. Similarly, Rep. Stacey Plaskett, Democrat of Virgin Islands, revealed that she would disavow Epstein's donations by giving to the Women's Coalition and the Family Resource Center after facing criticism for initially choosing to hold on to the money. She didn't want to let that money go. All right, the DCCC received a $10,000 check from Epstein in 2018, but said the money was unsolicited and immediately refunded. The late Don Fowler, former DNC chairman, said in a statement after Epstein was charged that his committee's donations were too old to address, according to CNBC. Go back and give the money that he gave 20 years ago. Are you nuts? Fowler said. Okay. So it sounds like they're not giving back the money. Sounds like they want to cling on to that Epstein money for dear life in the DNC. This is from Libs of TikTok. The official Democrats account just deleted this because it was a totally made-up lie. New documents show Donald Trump spent Thanksgiving with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017. At the time, Trump was already president, and Epstein was already a convicted sex trafficker. I'm telling you, man, all these emails that Democrats are releasing, it's all fake. It's all fucking fake. Every bit of it's fake. I don't believe it for a freaking second. It is the easiest thing on earth to make a fake email. It is absolutely just as simple can possibly get. I mean, you could do it with freaking WordPad. All right. But anyway, so what they highlighted, where are you having Thanksgiving? That was Thursday, November 23rd, 2017, allegedly. That's from Faith Cates, whoever that is. And then the second highlighted portion says November 23rd, 2017, 8:36 a.m. Supposedly it's Jeffrey Epstein himself, said David Fizzle, Hansen, Trump. All right. Well, even if this were in any way a legitimate email, I don't see Donald J. Trump. I don't see Donald Trump. I know there's a lot of people out there who have the last name Trump. Not saying that anybody in the Trump family had dinner with them. I don't believe this email even was, not a complete fabrication, which I'm sure it is, which would explain why they immediately deleted it. But all right. So anyway, so that's the latest that's going on with Epstein, but I'm not done yet. No, we got a few more things because President Trump himself chimes in on this whole Jeffrey Epstein nonsense. But first, Chairman Joe Gruder's absolutely disgusting. Democrats' one goal in life is to attack President Trump, even if it means making up baseless lies to defend a pedo. TDS from RNC Research. 11 hours ago, Trump derangement syndrome has melted Eric Swalwell's brain so much that he trusts the word of a dead pedo. Swalwell, quote, I'd believe the Epstein estate over the DOJ right now. These people are truly sick and deranged. This is on CNN.
Oh, Speaker Johnson and the Department of Justice seek to bury these files beneath the earth. So just by nature of who is being forthcoming and who is not, I believe the Epstein estate over the DOJ right now.
That's frankly, a shocking statement.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's not really that shocking. It's come from Swallowswell, for crying out loud. Wouldn't shock anybody, really. Like one of the top ratioed individuals in the history of the internet. So, all right, so that happened, and got this from AG Pamela Bondi. Thank you, Mr. President. And let me read his statement first, and then we'll get AG Pam Bondi's follow-up to that. So, President Trump says now that the Democrats are using the Epstein hoax involving Democrats, not Republicans, to try and deflect from their disastrous shutdown and all of their other failures, I will be asking AG Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice, together with our great patriots at the FBI, to investigate Jeffrey Epstein's involvement and relationship with Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, Reid Hoffman, J.P. Morgan, Chase, and many other people and institutions to determine what was going on with them and him. This is another Russia scam with all arrows pointing to the Democrats. Records show that these men and many others spent large portions of their life with Epstein and on his island, quote unquote. Stay tuned. So we did read in the Fox News article that there were some small donations made to Republicans. So, like Republicans aren't absolutely crystal clear, squeaky clean of Jeffrey Epstein. So, I mean, I guess that should be said. But also, I already see that Democrats are going to spin this by them saying, look, he already admitted it's a Russia scam. So like this whole Jeffrey Epstein that he wants to be investigated by the FBI and by the DOJ with AG Pam Bondi, he already admits that it's a big scam. See, he even likens it to the Russia scam. But all right, so anyway, oh wait, hold on here. So this is the response by AG Pam Bondi. Thank you, Mr. President. SDNY U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton is one of the most capable and trusted prosecutors in the country, and I've asked him to take the lead. As with all matters, the department will pursue this with urgency and integrity to deliver answers to the American people. Well, because at the end of the day, President Trump is AG Pam Bondi's boss, so she's just doing what she's told to do. And we've got this from the GOP, which they're actually just posting another post from Donald J. Trump's True Social. The Democrats are doing everything in their withering power to push the Epstein hoax again, despite the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents in order to deflect from all of their bad policies and losses, especially the shutdown embarrassment, where their party is in total disarray and has no idea what to do. Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, and he is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. Ask Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, and Larry Summers about Epstein. They know all about him. Don't waste your time with Trump. I have a country to run. So the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents, I'm going to have to look into that because if that's the case, that's a lot of documents, even though I'm pretty sure that I read earlier this year that they've decided not to release all of the documents, and the Democrats went absolutely apeshit over that. And there were quite a few people, I remember myself included, scratching my head like, well, wait a minute. They just said they were going to release every single thing they had, and now they're not going to. But maybe they did release, everything that they could have possibly declassified. But I think what really set off a lot of people was the Trump administration saying that there wasn't a client list of Epstein that he used to blackmail people with. And everybody's like, well, what are you talking about? Of course he's got a client list. I mean, we already saw the flight logs. We saw all the individuals on this big list, well over 100 famous people that flew on the Lolita Express. So what do you mean he doesn't have a client list? So it got me thinking that maybe just the way that they framed that, they don't have a client list that he used to blackmail people, but he does have a client list. Surely he's got a client list, but if he does, I don't believe the Trump administration released it though. And if that's the case, they got to release that, man. And honestly, I don't know why they wouldn't release it, to be honest with you, unless there's certain individuals on there that they just don't want us to know about. I'm sure that's what the Democrats are claiming.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out The Swamp, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, with segments dropping on the daily. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.